around early just to make sure that he can. Oh, it helps his production too because he had the last dwelling that doesn't produce.
Hmm.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I think at this point in the game, I would trade 3 points for 2 coins and a power. It's just that's just
Yeah,
the most clear way to say it.
for
I think
sure.
it's worth it.
And it gives a little tempo on taking water one because I think he does want water one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He has the like slightly unfortunate feature of having the dwelling scroll in a TP round, which is always like a little annoying. um,
Not perfectly optimal, yeah.
but he didn't. I don't think he had good options. So um,
Yeah, it's I mean, he's gonna be what? Like if he gets water one and builds like 3 TPs next round, that doesn't seem too unreasonable.
mhm.
That'll put him. He'll be at almost 60 points by the end of the round with no towns formed.
Yeah,
That looks pretty good.
yeah. I think mermaids are in really good shape. I'm a little sad. Well, we'll see how this Auren game proceeds, but I'm a little. Oh my god! The fact that yellow didn't build I7 is very costly to Auren.
Yeah, huge,
Interesting.
huge.
Wow. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Sorry. he's, he's going expensive TPs here. This man wants the 2 key town. He's like, uh, is that right? I mean, that's how I'm viewing this. He's like, I must have
I
it.
think he just maybe. I think he just knew he was gonna have to build one regardless.
Yeah, you're right.
Um, because I don't think Nomad's gonna be advancing ship anytime soon, right? Nomad's needed
Yeah.
coins for TPs and stuff this
My
round.
God. Oh my God. Yeah. The not being on. Holy crap. This is so interesting. So like Auren not passing may have led to Nomads not being on I7. That's so funny.
Yeah, huge swing in the game.
It
Just
is.
Hefaistos not building that dwelling.
And honestly, there's so many there's so many funky things, right? Like I actually think this is like an example of a decision that's very complicated, which is building next to someone who's dying for a neighbor in a spot where you'll get leech from them upgrading there. It's like good for you to get that leech, but then you might also be like way saving them. So it's possible that you're like improving your game a tiny bit and saving their game completely. My instinct is usually just to like go there anyway for the leech and just doing production that feels natural. But there are definitely games where I'm like, maybe that was a mistake to give them neighbor at that key spot.
Yeah, I think the key is if it's like clearly that you and that other person are kind of fighting for the lead and are clearly like doing the best in the game, and the other two factions are behind. Then I think it's like maybe a decision where you really want to deny them. Like, but I'm not sure it's the case in this game because we talked about how good Mermaids game is looking now.
Yeah,
I don't. I don't think Hefaistos can catch Matt. He's already 30 points behind. I know he's making up some ground this round,
yeah,
and I don't know. I think he should have built there. Is my opinion.
yeah. That's
While he was on
interesting.
temp ship too, and it's good for your economy. It scores points. You get a little bit of leech from Auren, and that was really nice to them. But maybe this will help him get second. I don't know. There's a lot that goes into the decision.
Yeah. Okay.
So what else? What else is happening this round? WebberRage NGs are on ship BP, and they already advanced shipping. Wait, didn't they advance? Oh no, he advanced shipping, then he undid his move. Okay. I thought he was going to go to 3 ship on that, but no, he built a TP instead.
And
So we'll have to see what his plan is with that.
and somewhat surprisingly, Water Cult became a bloodbath race between Nomads and Auren, and then NGs and Mermaids are like, wait, isn't Air the one that's going to give rewards? How about we take that one? So we're filling up our cult slots here.
It does kind of speak to the
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
yeah. It kind of no. I was gonna say that like kind of like how competitive the cults have got. It kind of speaks to actually the importance of the 2 key town. We are kind of joking about Deranged is like gonna rush it no matter what, but like it actually is a pretty big swing here on a couple of cults for sure. fire cult. If Auren or Nomads get the two key town, that's going to really help them win that cult.
Yeah.
And water in particular. Yeah, those three factions all grouped together. That could be a lot of points that the two key town can decide there.
And another thing that's very nice that you want to see actually as Tall Auren is the cult spaces filled up, but nobody in amazing cult position. So like that's actually what you want to see because your stronghold is an advantage over everybody else then, right? Like using Orange stronghold steps on water or on air while those slots are all full looks really, looks good. And like Nomads might have a hard time. I mean, Nomads could fire two at some point if they want it, if they for their last town or something. But okay, so I was wondering if we were going to see this because he was sitting on the dig scroll. So he dig scrolled and he dig scrolled, which yes, that is a verb, and hard dug to build H5. Now, yeah, that's interesting. So he got his two key. He's up quite a bit. Yeah.
So he gets the two key town. It costs him he's not gonna be able to afford another TP this round, I don't think. I guess he could take a worker's action and build it, but it might not be worth it. It costs him that. I thought he was just gonna want to do a stronghold round 5 down there and form the town that way, but maybe he's just gonna do a stronghold on C4 instead. If it makes sense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's a reasonable move.
Yeah. I think you're right. I do think that's what he's gonna do. Like TP stronghold. Can he do? So he can't TP this round unless he's getting a worker with his power and doing something with his priest. But yeah, I mean, this is like pretty hardcore Tall Auren. I mean, it's not exactly how I would have played it, but it is the plan that I had in mind of starting C4, F4, and just play two towns and go hard on cults, and just, like build out a wee bit and then hammer TP scroll. Or, well, I was hoping he was going to be on TP scroll, but. Is it enough? It might be. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, right.
It's
but
just
he
so
also
funny to see Nomads at 5 points right now. Sorry,
I hope he gets a 5, like a 6 for 5 right now, and then it's like, yeah.
Just go straight to 0.
Oh my god!
It's extremely it's extra weird considering he just went through 2 dwelling grounds with Earth 1. He's still behind on points from where we started, right? Didn't he start at 6 points? And he's at 5 at round 4.
Yeah, that he's about to score 1 million. I think that's what he's counting on. Wait, is he getting? He's grabbing water 1 here? So is he gonna SA water 1, and then? Oh no, that water 1s are gone.
Ooh. Yeah, Edgy's just took the last water 1.
He just took it. Interesting.
What did he do this round? What else was Hefaistos prioritizing?
He put a priest to fire, priest to air.
Huh. He really wanted that over water 1. I guess maybe he's just not interested. He doesn't have that many. Well, he has a lot of power. He's got a lot of coins.
I mean, it's an awkward.
That's gonna hurt.
He's in an awkward position in the sense that oh, okay, he's gonna put this last priest to Earth also if he's allowed. Maybe all NGs might do it. Yeah, I mean it's awkward because if you SA, then you can't SA next round. So maybe he just decided. I mean, my interpretation of his moves is that he just decided I'll SA for Air 1 next round, and I'll just build 4 TPs out on TP scroll on TP round and then do the SA next round. I mean, that's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, it does, and I guess that's reasonable too. It can't be that bad of a game plan, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's just with round 6 TPs as well, well, I mean, I guess he's just going to try to build as many TPs as he can this game. It's really natural to just kind of just keep trying to, I don't know, build your TPs, go temple TP, maybe stronghold TP, just build more and more TPs. And so that really compounds with water 1, how good that is.
Yeah.
And he could have taken air 1 with a temple, round 5 as well. He didn't have to. He could have sanctuary for water 1 this round and temple for air 1 next round. So I don't know.
I agree with you, and I'm a little concerned because, to your point, he's gonna build 4 TPs this round, He's gonna SA next round for Air 1, and then he still has 4 TPs out going into a TP round. I mean, he can build maybe Stronghold next round to free up 1, but then he has to be building temples after that to free up TPs. And that his options for temples are like Water 2 looks atrocious for him. Fire 2 probably just it doesn't change his fire position at all, but maybe that's the answer just to get that like get a third town more easily or something, but I don't think he needs it. It's just really, really ugly for what his favor options are.
Yeah, and kind of unrelated, I guess, but it was just pointed out like in the chat that the cults are filled up now, so every priest spot is gone. Round 4, which is not
Yeah.
something you see every day in Terra Mystica. And especially not in a game with such mediocre cult rewards. Like with the 2 earlier dwelling rounds, like it wasn't even that good.
Yeah.
So everyone just loving the cults this game.
I,
It's
I
crazy.
I think it's like it looks like NG's were like, I'm playing small footprint and I'm gonna make it up on the cults. Auren are like, I'm playing small footprint and I'm gonna make it up on the cults. And Nomads are like, I'm at 0 points. I'm gonna make it up on the cults.
There's only so much of the pie to go around, you know. Only so many slices of pie for everyone.
Yeah. Oh man. So Mermaids are 1 point back on Auren. So that's a pretty big deal. Like and they have 3 towns coming as opposed to 1 town coming. So I think Lesser's in the driver's seat, no?
I think so too. An interesting thing to watch is that he does like so he just passed first here, and like it's really natural for him to want a coins action, but he also really wants a bridge, and he has to be a bit worried about being bridge blocked with NG's looking for bridges as well, and then just being the last game in the Premier League and all those swings that we mentioned, that a bridge block could be a huge swing in the standings.
That's funny.
So it's kind of like I think they're in a really good spot, but they still need a lot. Like they still want a sanctuary. They still want at least 2 more spades, if not more, for network purposes. They want a bridge. They want to like advance ship and score and ship VP if they can. They're not passing on to a scoring scroll here, so they want one in the last round.
Yeah.
I like their position, but it's not super easy necessarily to play. It's not obvious they're gonna win. Basically, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. Oh man, I'm a little sad we're not seeing more bridges. But maybe
Your daughter must be sad.
I know. Aki, my younger daughter's really big on bridges. That's like her go-to. She just like shows up and it's like, ooh, sweet bridge.
Yeah, there's only one so far for her to admire.
Yeah, well, she's definitely pulling for deranged.
But it is a bit sad, like with NG's, like, wouldn't it be so nice if they had some bridges up right now and just plop a stronghold next round and just score 18 points with that?
I know.
And like maybe they could still stronghold and get a couple bridges. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's possible. But they don't have a ton of resources to do it with.
Yeah, and he's like, this idea of like, well, maybe he was thinking to score with ship scoring. Well, he's still only on 1 ship and he scored 3 points with that this round. Like, it's not lighting me on fire.
No, not really. And you just pass him to Dwelling VP, which I don't think is going to light you on fire any further. I mean, how many rounds is going to bob up? 3? Maybe 4? It's okay. It's not horrible, but it's not. Yeah. It's not like a stronghold with 3 bridges points.
Yeah. I want to be lit on fire, Barnawal. That's what I'm saying.
Just play Chaos Magicians all the time.
Maybe, yeah.
So we're talking about all this, but he might actually be able to get a stronghold 3 bridges up next round, right? Like looking at his resources.
But he also wants an SA because he needs to build an SA to town in the middle, and I don't think he can do both. Like that, like bridges, like 3 bridge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not round 5 at least. You have to save the SA to round 6, or just settle for 1 bridge or something like that.
Yeah. Water 2 looks good for MattTheLesser. So I think he's gonna need Fire 2 because he's gonna SA on C3, right? I think is what we expect.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
And given like to your point earlier about how much more he has to do, it's a lot, right? Like the essay is super expensive, and he. The reason I was okay, I was curious if he was actually gonna water two even this round to get the an extra dig off the cult.
Mm.
Because he still needs two digs in the north for the two towns that he wants there. Um, and then he needs a bridge. Yeah, so he does need two more digs. So I mean, he only needs one more dig. He can hard dig it or whatever. He has other avenues. But I was just kind of curious because also like water two is really good here for him anyway to get to the eight step there. He gets a dig, and then like his steps are really valuable. He could use it to close water. He could use it on air cult, which is like, just like um, scooch up here into an easy second place with water two steps, perhaps.
Yeah, there's some argument for sure. I think it's hard to say. I mean, you lose a little bit of coin income from taking a TP down, as well as a bit of power from that. The extra priest isn't so useful with all the cult spots being filled up. It's not like he's going to
That's
afford
true.
the advanced digs or anything like that this game.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's an obvious decision. Like, I definitely can understand like the pull of taking water two there.
Yeah.
I would need to turn base it out. I need to think of.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. In fairness to him, I wasn't looking super, super closely, but it just struck me as a very valuable water to take for a round four, given the position of the cults. But yeah, I was just sort of curious. So he's swimming in coins.
Yeah, well, especially another thing to. Sorry, just to add on to that, another thing is that Auren are going to be building their stronghold, and they're going to have cult steps. So, like the immediacy of getting 3 cult steps on water would let them lock it up and maybe
Yes.
beat Auren up water.
Yes.
So that would be a pretty big swing.
Yeah.
And
Like,
we think Auren are competition.
right.
I think it's hard to fully say, but
like he could be on.
It
Yeah.
it's an appeal.
He could be on the 9th step right now and then just bump it right now and close it. Oh, he doesn't have a key though.
Well, yeah, he needs a town, but he's
Yeah.
not that far away from towning, I don't think.
Yeah, yeah. So
Although maybe do Auren still beat him up then? I don't know.
So we'll see. He
Too
can
much
actually
figuring out.
he can do it this round if he with the pass scroll he's on. So we'll see what happens. He's got some different options. So here comes the arrow one from Hefaistos.
Yeah, here come the points.
Come on, baby, give me the
Here
points.
We go. We also saw Deranged took Error 1 with his stronghold as well too, so we might see a little semi Error 1 rush happening here.
Oh wow, yeah. It somehow feels like the wrong use of the word rush, but sure, an Error 1 rush. Yeah. So NG's took this bridge power action. So I think they're gonna essay, and then we'll see what town they take. But it could be. So how many coins do they have left then? So they're at 4, 5 coins. So they'd be 1 coin short. Because I petered out there. But what I was trying to get to is if they take a worker town, then and they convert both priests to workers, they can get stronghold SA and 2 more bridges down if they worker town and turn those into bridges.
Right.
But oh, sorry, I'm screwing up the view. I forgot. I'm not supposed to scroll. But anyway, sorry. That's what I was trying to figure out here. If he can still get there.
Can he? I mean, you probably
he can. He can because I think he just got some power.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
So now if he takes Worker Town, he can actually do Stronghold and 2 more. Oh, so he's going for the water too. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, which makes total sense. He's not gonna have any TPs up after this round, right? So that makes a lot of sense.
And he took the 1 step
so
on
each. After all is said and done,
ooh,
and he's gonna go in water.
Wow. Interesting. Oh my god, what a cult fight! Like, holy moly.
Yeah. I don't think I had NGs winning 2 cults on my checklist for this game for what's going to happen. I think we talked briefly about the idea of like NGs playing a little culty at the beginning, but I may have shot it down pretty quickly.
Well,
But
NG's
yeah,
on and deranged took his stronghold steps on fire just to close that and get 3 power back. Um, so he's giving up on water call, which makes sense. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, the times I mean, gray playing against green, NG culty NGs is fairly common, but what like it wasn't obvious here, and we weren't sure, and it turns out they weren't. Like they're not boxed in the East. So like you don't, because if green is on E9 and then you have to dig down, like you can just like lose connection and stuff. And I guess I should have pointed out like one obvious thing with D6 also is it gives 3-ship connection for engineers also, um, which
yeah.
could turn into a cheap 6 points.
Can they afford 3-ship after they go stronghold? If they're going stronghold and bridges this round, I don't like. At least if they're going to build expensive TPs, I'm not sure they can afford to go 3-ship and connect.
I think they're only doing.
At the same time,
Yeah. Sorry, go
is
ahead.
it Auren have to go to 3-ship to connect too? It's like, are they going to want to do that if they don't know if NGs are going to do that themselves? Like, it's kind of a little. But I like to call it a bit of a snail race for third place on network.
Yeah. Well, and
not a lot going on for those two in terms of structures, but someone's getting a cheap 6 points.
Yeah. Which could be pretty pivotal. WebberRage has turned this into like definitely an interesting game plan. I think in our minds, how many TPs did he build in the TP round? So I think he didn't hit the
2
TP round as hard as what we expected, but he played the cults harder than we expected, and he's making it up there. Yeah, this might be a low-scoring game, dude.
Oh, it's definitely going to be. I mean, you see a huge sandwich like that where everyone's bid down heavily. It's got to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah. How?
So I think that part of it's not surprising.
How low?
What's interesting? So WebberRage, I was gonna say he built a dwelling, which we hadn't really talked about, but it makes sense. He had a hex available. He was on the dwelling BP tile, and so now he can build a stronghold, but he can't get any more bridges out. I don't think with that.
I'll get over it.
In like a week or 2.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So, and we did see Fire 2 from Mermaids. So Matt is. Oh, and the other thing that I guess we should have pointed out is the bridge. The fact that the bridge was taken by NGs this round means that MattTheLesser is in like kind of a tricky position for round 6. And if people think he's in the best position, and by the way, they know that if he gets first or second, he wins the championship. Bridge block is not, especially if NGs pass before him, like bridge block's totally in the cards, in which case he has to pivot to like double digging G1 the gray there to do that town, right? Like, oh wow, he's strongholded.
Yeah,
he's strongholded.
There's some tension building. I can I can feel the tension building.
Yeah.
From that, but yeah, the stronghold is interesting because that gives him like not pass tempo, but he has incentive to pass quickly now because he doesn't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a 5-point stronghold. And it gives him the ship advance, which he doesn't actually need to connect, but it's still good points for him.
Yeah. I feel like this Mermaids game went a little
the other thing with
sideways.
the stronghold is that it frees up Sorry, Fickles. That's the other thing with the stronghold is that it frees up another TP for next round to build.
Yes, that's true.
Which is a 6-point TP, which he might want anyways.
Yeah. No,
so
you're right.
I think makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah. No, you're right. And like in auction, we were saying that's like a stronghold round 5 makes so much sense because it directly frees up a TP for round 6. So that is all. I'm just having a hard time figuring out, like, so Nomads are going to win network by a mile. I think.
I guess. Yeah. then, well, mermaids will definitely be second if they're not winning that. Like if Nomads are winning
Yeah.
network.
So
No question there.
yeah, that's interesting. Hmm. So if he bridges, he needs to build one more dwelling in the northwest. He needs to bridge in the southwest and build one more TP in the north. I'm talking about mermaids. Sorry, to finish his 3 towns because he took fire
Okay,
too.
yeah, I was making sure
I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. My bad.
Right.
Um, that all sounds pretty doable as long as he gets the bridge.
Well, we should make note that Deranged just passed,
Uh huh.
and so he will have the option to bridge block mermaids.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
he passed on the TP tile, which is nice for him too. Assuming he'll get 3 TPs up next round, but he has no neighbors, so I don't know if he actually can do that without taking a coins action at least. So that's a kind of a bit of a dilemma.
My God, Nomads left him hanging. He like went for the high five, and then Nomads just walked away in round 3 dwelling round. That's tough. Oof.
Yeah, not just B4, but I7.
Yeah.
I did not see that hex being left open.
Yikes. Oh wow. That's just so little neighbors for Auren in what feels like fairly central building.
Oh, wait, Fickles. Fickles, I got an idea.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
Oh,
Derange is going to bridge from B5 to C5 and create a neighbor for dwelling there. So that's basically the same as expensive TP.
Yes.
But it's a bridge block at the same time.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. But then NG's get a neighbor on C5.
That's exactly what. Yeah.
And he'll get. That's really funny. That would be really funny.
I think Major Tom just noticed it in the chat too.
Oh really?
Same idea. Like
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, that would be great. I mean, do you know what's like? It's always interesting in these high level games, like how often like very niche things come up, like you know, like these really oddball situations do come up in the like highest levels of games, which is so cool, and I think proof that like it's not some vanilla. Terra Mystica is not some vanilla game that like the better you get, you play a particular way. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Tons of nuance, right? Tons of little situations to read into.
And Nomads are. Ooh.
So I was just gonna say, Matt passed on the ship VP, which I didn't really think about, but it was with the range passing first, it was open.
Yes.
So the whole bridge thing might be a bit of a moot point now because that's so many points for Mermaids to pass on to.
Yeah.
That's a huge swing in the game too.
Yeah. So he can. So you're like, all right, don't build. Forget towns. Don't even bother. Just increase ship twice.
Yeah, I mean. So if he gets bridge block, he just takes a coins action and just goes crazy, goes ham with ship advances. And he maybe can still get the 3rd town. Maybe he can find a way to double dig that gray. I don't know, but I'm not sure if he even needs it at that point.
Yeah. So
He'll
have
3 water, 1 TPs. He's got 2 ship advances. Sorry, and then ship DP, but he's got 2 towns coming. Like he still has a ton of points coming in.
But if he needs like 3 digs, because he needs 3 digs if he gets bridge blocked.
Oh, for 3 towns, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do 3 towns.
But you just ignore the 3rd town, right?
What?
Do you?
I mean, I think you can do both. Because you're getting town. I think you're getting town income. Oh shoot, I did it again. You're getting town income.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit of town income. I guess you can take 2 worker towns, or you can take a power town to get double. Maybe if you can take a power town for double dig, that could be worth it. I mean, it's a lot. That's not easy. It's he wants his workers for TPs too. Those are 6-point TPs.
Oh yeah. I forgot it was TP round.
Yeah, he's got water 1, so yeah.
So a bridge block is pretty costly to him. Yikes. Holy cow. And if you're deranged, and again, the game of playing the tournament, which is like, can you cost MattTheLesser even second place? Maybe this game is close. I don't know. It might be close. Maybe it's closer than we thought previously.
Maybe I'm not as convinced. I think with the ship BP, I think Matt's in a really good spot. Like I think that's just so many points. Like to me, that's more important than the third town, anyways. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's we have differing opinions. Let's kind of see it play out a bit.
Well, I mean, it always felt like Mermaids were ahead, right? Like that felt like the status quo. So I think I'm sort of trying to tuck myself into at least getting something competitive here. Um, but that may be wishful thinking, just because I like close games. But and so Nomads are gonna get the dwelling scroll.
Yeah, like that's nice. I give Hefaistos already formed 2 towns. Like he doesn't have water 1. Not that he has many TPs to build anymore, but I guess he has air 1. I don't know. I don't see how he can score that many more points in this last round.
Yeah.
Credit to him though, he's almost caught up now.
Yeah.
And considering last round he was like 30, 40 points back, and he didn't have water 1, like he still made up a lot of points.
Yeah.
No, and interesting, we didn't really talk about his game at all this round, but he went Stronghold. He did go Sanctuary for Air 1, then he went for Stronghold, and he used the Stronghold action and a spade and kind of got a couple dwellings down.
Yeah. Because he's...
Oh, and Auren Deranged does not bridge block. Just gotta point out, Deranged snapped that coin's action like in a half second. He didn't even think about bridge blocking.
Okay.
Or he probably thought about it and just knew it wasn't worth it or whatever. But yeah.
That's big. All right, that's big. And
I think it's great for Mermaids. Like I was talking about how they don't need the third town, but I think if they get the third town, that's better than coins action.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be too much to overcome. Because the other part of this is that he can take high point towns and pretty much get stuff done that he wants to do. So, but it is gonna be low scoring. So, and NGs just don't have much stuff. So he's towning now.
No. What town do you think they take?
Oh my gosh!
I guess we'll see soon enough.
Still has...
Do you go high scoring town, or do you want more resources to get like TPs up for them?
I think you. Well, I'm not looking exactly, but you want to build TPs here.
Yeah.
Like
they could do Fickles. They could do 4 expensive TPs in the coin town.
Yes, that's what I think. That's what I'm predicting here is the coin town and 4 expensive TPs. Which, wow. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, right. I think you should. I think it makes sense. I think it's more worth it than a high scoring town. I don't totally know.
So
like that seems too fun to pass up on. Also is the other consideration.
I think you gotta. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. He took the coin town. Let's do it. So
nice.
So what's funny is he can now do 4 expensive TPs, close water with a cult step, bump air with a cult step, and then turn 2 priests into a third bridge. That's pretty
cool last round.
That's a hilarious last round. That's really, really wild.
Yeah. And the kind of the trickle down effect from that is that if Auren connect, they'll get third on network. Because there's no way Angie's going to afford ship advances. And I don't think it's worth it for them to bother trying to connect here.
Right.
But then, of course, he's got his own stuff he wants to do. He needs another dig for his town. He needs at least 1 expensive TP. Nomads finally built an I7.
Oh.
So he's got neighbors. Hey.
Oh. Really? On I7, does he need a little... Maybe he needs a little bit of leech to afford what he needs. Because he has H1 open. And he needs to increase ship again once. And so B1 is there before gives a neighbor to K. Well, anyway, that's nice.
Yeah, that's very nice. And I think with that, the range can afford to do 3 TPs and connect, like fully advanced shipping, which is he's on the TP tile and he's got water 1. It's a TP round, so those TPs are great. Shipping is points, and he's getting network points, so that's like a nice kind of turn of events for Auren here.
And we have the Deep Finesse special by MattTheLesser here, declining the Mermaids town as long as possible. We'll see how long he does that. Deep Finesse always does this. Just like decline.
Does he? I didn't know that actually.
Oh yeah, it's
Just save
so
them all.
funny. It's so funny.
You know, I think the reason for it is just to see if he needs resources or just to figure out like the optimal town tile choice.
Yeah.
And I guess, well, Auren can form a town. NG's already did form a town before him, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's not worried about losing the higher scoring towns that much. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I would assume he'd want higher scoring towns, but he's on ship DP, so econ is good. You can advance ship and score with that as well. So I think anything is fine for him.
Yeah. So Deranged did expensive TP A10 to make sure he's towning here. He's not messing around. I'm not counting his resources out to know exactly what he needs. Because is he 11-point town maybe? And then just do 3 more TPs. Oh, he needs 1 more neighbor somewhere.
No, he only has 2 more TPs.
Oh, he only has 2 left. Yeah.
He's 2 expensive TPs to build.
Yeah.
This is some cheap TPs to build.
Okay, he's going for the. He's going for
ship
connection.
town.
He wants the connection. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Could he have done it without a ship town? Like I somehow was thinking he could take a higher scoring town. He has like his Auren action, which would give him some power, presumably. I guess that's it. So I guess he needed some sort of resources. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. All right, we've got our.
Here we go.
We've got our power
First
town.
Power town.
Nice. Now, it's interesting. So he takes that power town. That's so funny because I do like power towns for mermaids, but I usually do it at the start of the turn so that I know the power action I can spend it on. And it's not like he was going to get boxed out of the power towns. That's interesting.
Yeah, I would think so too. And NG's just took double dig.
Wow.
Did you understand that?
Whoa.
Wait, why?
Oh, he's going to connect. He's fighting network.
He is.
Oh,
why?
he's fighting network. Oh no, that means we're not going to see 4 expensive TPs.
I know, I'm so sad. Oh, maybe he just wants that for cheap TPs. Maybe that's his plan. But that costs him resources for that's basically 6 coins to double dig. And the dwellings cost him resources too. And he's not going to get all of his TPs up, I don't think. By doing that.
Yeah, but I guess he gets
or maybe
6.
He's going to build a few dwellings and a couple TPs. I don't know.
That's a setback for Deranged if he spends a town on a ship town and then gets 0 network points.
But how is he connecting? He's not connecting. He only has. Oh no, he's on 2 ship. Wait, when did he advance shipping?
Yeah,
he is connecting.
Yeah,
WebberRage. I for some reason I thought he was on 1 ship still, but he needed 2 ship for that double dig.
Yeah,
so never mind.
So interesting. Yeah, it's not good for Deranged.
No. Is that worth it? Like, aren't the TPs better for NG? I would have thought so.
I would have quite liked to see that 4 expensive TPs and then another bridge.
Yeah, I think that's just more points. So another thing to point out is Hefaistos' advanced dig. And he probably, I don't think it affects his plan at all. Just like a free 6 points, basically. Can he get another dig advance in? Maybe.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yep, and then he just digs down a dwelling. Yep. Oh, wait, but he needs a ship increase still. But I guess he towns and can take a ship down if he needs to. So yeah, I think he increases digs down A7 on the brown, ship town builds B1, eh?
Yeah, I think so too. Unless, well, I was gonna say Matt could beam into a ship town, but that ship has sailed. Matt just took his action before and didn't take a ship town. But I don't think he wanted the ship town anyway. So like, yeah, it was probably always safe. How
Remember
much
during
does
the
Hefaistos have more
auction?
points than we think he has?
Do you remember during the auction when I was like, well, Nomads will get to 2 ship in round 3 and be building on, they'll be spreading around the map. Well, Nomads still aren't on B4 or G4. Or
It's
B1.
happening now. It's
Yeah.
the shipping spree is happening for Nomads.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, he took the 11-point town.
oh, okay.
Oh, so he's not advanced. He's just going to advance ship manually. He's not going to do the second dig advance. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I guess that's better actually, right? Because the 11-point town is like
It's a
7
lot.
points more than the ship town. The dig advance is only
Yeah.
6 points. So yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
it's a good call. Makes sense.
Yeah. Don't listen to us.
Yeah, we don't know what we're talking about.
So Lesser's still not taking these 2 towns. What was Lesser's most recent move?
Ship advance.
Oh, ship. Okay, ship advance. Okay, yeah, fair enough. So he's gonna ship advance again, and then wants to build 2 TPs.
Yeah, it looks like it, right?
Is he power
I think
towning
he's
again?
always another one.
I don't know.
Does he need another structure for network? Does he have to fight NGs on network? Right now, if NGs do fully connect and build all these dwellings, he does need one more structure to beat them on network, which is 3 points, I guess, basically. And he has a free blue, so that would be easy enough for him to get.
NGs have
so
only.
If he can afford to do TP, another ship advance, another dwelling, and then do his 2 towns, that's probably a good plan at least to have in the back pocket.
Well, NGs only have 1 more hex, right? Oh, I see. Okay. Man, this is such a weird game. Look at the scores.
That's what happens. You
Look,
sandwich Auren.
the scores on the board are fun right now. 80, 84, 84, 83. I like that. That's a nice round 6.
Was close, right?
That's a nice round 6 between everybody.
Close on the surface. Just don't look at pass points, stuff like that. It's super close.
Yeah, right. That is, if he didn't land on ship scoring, yeah, I'll be curious. I mean, it's a very, very funky game here.
So Auren are fully connected now. They're on 3 ship. I guess it's still just points for them. I guess they still want advanced ship even if they're not getting network points, right? Like that makes sense. What else are they doing with their resources?
Yeah.
Like maybe Temple for Air 1, and if they could have done Temple Air 1 and another TP, that'd be worth it. But there's no way that they could have afforded that. So,
right.
So yeah, that makes sense.
They're just gonna TP on H4.
I mean, they could TP on A11 now. They got a neighbor there. True. Or A10. What is that? No, it's A11. They got NGs there. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
just the fact that suddenly have all these neighbors and they got those 2 expensive TPs just sitting there. And they're going to have a neighbor spot that's not upgraded. It's just like sad to look at.
Lesser has declined 2 towns again.
Do you think he's just like building the tension? Like, do you think he's just like, I know I got this. I'm just going to kind of like make everyone sweat a little bit. Look, like, he's behind in points right now. It's like, oh my gosh, he's struggling. He's got no resources. He's behind in points. How is he going to win? How is he going to play?
Yeah, maybe.
And then he just pops 2 towns and does his last ship advance and passes. He gets like 40 points or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, he has 20 and 32 between ship stuff and second on network. Man, this is a low scoring game. Like, that's not that much. He doesn't have Air 1. It's like really not that much. That's
Do we know who's second?
That's the winning position. That's crazy. He's got 15 on the pass plus 5 from the ship increase. I guess he gets another. He's gonna get the 2 towns, so it's still just a bit low. I mean, he'll get some. He'll
Oh,
get
he
some
will.
cool
I mean,
points.
mermaids were like so. Mermaids have been down to what, like 16 points? Was it 20? It was somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So you got to think of it almost like it's a Snellman game. Like they started at like 20 points, and they're just building their way up from there.
Yeah.
So like that's really why it's so low scoring.
Yeah. So funky. So A12 TP for NGs. Oh man, I'm kind of sad that we didn't see the 4 expensive TPs thing just for the novelty of it.
Yeah, but it's also so weird. He did this double dig and he's not building the 11 structures. He's not even fighting mermaids on network. So this is all just for getting third on network. Like, yeah, whatever. I don't think it's the right move. But anyways, yeah, it's like I know it's just sad just for the pure fun factor of not seeing these 4 expensive TPs.
Yeah. It's a bit rough on NGs that Auren. Oh, excuse me. It's a bit rough on Auren that NGs went so hard on cults and then took a line to swoop third on network from them too. It's a bit of a that's a little bit of a bad break for deranged.
Yeah, big swing in the game for sure. Yeah, just strategies. How they. It's a good kind of example of how someone's strategy impacts someone else's strategy, impacts the game. Kind of like the domino effect, I guess you could say, of Terra Mystica.
Yeah, and it just felt like Auren didn't have pivot options in a way that like NGs had. You know, they can pivot a bit in what they want to focus on. But all right, we've got 2 passes out.
Okay.
All right, town.
We're just waiting. We're waiting for these mermaids.
Oh, he put priest
to
to air. He put priest to air. Is he gonna decline the towns again?
Oh, so he's definitely.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
finally, he took the
Never
priest.
mind. Okay.
That's so funny. Okay.
So he knows he does not need that last dwelling now. So he's going to see another priest town, right?
Yeah.
Or I guess he declined it for now. but it's gonna be it's got to be a high scoring town, right?
Yeah. It'll be.
And he can afford one last ship advance still.
The priest town's valuable too, because putting it on air is actually really good.
Yeah. 2 points for him swinging against the other players.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing of note is that there's still a copy of Earth One sitting there. Not anyone's gonna take it, but so we saw Mermaids and Auren go without Earth One this game.
Yeah.
Which really makes sense. Like Auren didn't build a lot of dwellings, and Mermaids just built a lot of dwellings early, and so they didn't have a huge need for it later. But just a little interesting like observation to make note of.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get our ship increase and priest to air, and then we are out. Only 6 bridge points for NGs. Wow, what a bizarro final game. So interesting, but big and also big thank you to the organizers of TMTL, EJ, Super Jarny, and Bowser Hugs. I think are the 3 who put in the most. If I'm forgetting someone else, please forgive me. Big thank you for putting in all the work to organize this, and big thank you to the players to put on such great shows all these weeks. Really appreciate that. I know playing under pressure for an audience, particularly when sometimes 2 punks are like commenting and criticizing you while casting, that's not always like super fun. So we've tried to stay positive, but also forgive us if we ever cross the line. And big thank you to the players for putting on such great shows this season. So here we go. It's in.
And it's official.
And it is
all right,
official. MattTheLesser is the champion of TMTL season 8, I think. Shoot. I believe it's.
I can't help you with that.
I think it's season 8.
Second. Sorry, I gotta say, they did tie for second on network. I missed that. Yeah, WebberRage gets second. Nomads, Hefaistos just squeaks out third, and Deranged in fourth.
So what?
Super close from second to fourth there.
Yeah, that's wild. That is wild. Oh man. Well, WebberRage, like getting second here is a cool a cool result here. And hey, thanks everyone for watching. I know some of you all are in Europe too. You're watching like in the night. That's wild. So thanks so much for hanging out with us in chat. Huge congrats to MattTheLesser. Um, and I'm not sure who finishes second actually, because I mean honestly, finishing second in the Premier League is a pretty cool achievement too. So I'm not sure who gets that, but we'll have to shout them out. It might be. I guess it's probably. I bet it's Simone B. I bet Simone B is second. So so yeah. So big congrats to MattTheLesser, and let's see. Oh, sorry. Let me see if I can get Matt on for a conversation here. Hey Matt,
Oh yeah,
congrats
that
on
would be fun.
Matt. I don't know if you can hear me. Congrats on the win. Do you want to unmute and talk with us a little bit here?
Hey, sure.
Um,
Can you guys hear me?
yes, they can hear
Cool.
you.
Nice.
Hey, congrats, man. How are you feeling?
Thanks. I'm just happy my power stayed on.
You're. Oh yeah, because of the like blizzard where you are.
For those who are listening, I'm in Oregon, and we are in the middle of like an ice storm, and so there's warnings that the electricity might go out, which would have been very bad. So I'm very happy that that worked out, and then obviously that all of this worked out. This was a weird game.
Yes. Let me see if I can loop. I just realized I've left Barnawal hanging.
Wow.
Let me see if I can get him into the Zoom room. But
I can hear Matt like very, very faintly in the background. It's like he's like 3 rooms away.
Okay.
Like from inside the house.
That's funny because I can hear him perfectly fine.
Echo, whatever.
Barnawal, I just sent you the link if you want to pop into Zoom with us.
Okay, yeah, I'll pop in.
Hey, so Matt, first of all, how are you feeling going into this game, knowing that you might have the target on your back, given that like everyone knew if you finish first or second, you win? So
it's funny. I wasn't thinking too much about the target. I was definitely thinking more of, I have the ability to play it a little bit safe and just try to make sure I get second. Which of course then was throwing a huge wrench when we got such an ugly setup. Because it's funny because the scores in the end ended up being pretty close, which meant we were pretty accurate with that wild, long, disparate auction. But I was thinking, oh man, this is the type of setup that has the potential for something to just go drastically wrong. Which is why I sort of decided I'm not bidding on Auren. If I hadn't had that, second place buffer, I might have considered jumping to Auren right around when Deranged did, because I love Auren and I love, a challenge, and I've had some fun in some weird sandwich setups, but I was like, this could go really, really badly for Auren, and I think the opening did go pretty badly for Deranged, and so I sort of said not touching them, and so I only bid on the other 3 factions.
Okay, so that was, and Barnawal, you're here now, right?
Yeah, I'm here. I heard everything that's going on now.
Nice.
So I'll say congrats, Matt. For me, that's well played. How many Premier Leagues have you won now? Is it 3?
I think this is just the second, and then I've won the turn-based Division 1 a couple times too.
Okay, yeah, not a bad resume you got going on. I wanted to ask
TMTL isn't like, yeah, I love it.
It's basically your thing now. But yeah, I wanted to ask you about going into round 6. Were you worried about getting bridge blocked? Because we were talking quite a bit about the potential for it to happen.
I was a tiny bit worried, but I was prepared to just single dig, hard dig G1, which also would have given me the town, and I wouldn't have been able to build out quite as much stuff in the last round, but I think I still would have been fine. I was actually contemplating trying to snag double dig and take G1 in round 5, but I think I was 1 leech short. So I did have that out.
That's the gray in the west. Yeah.
The first gray little peninsula, because you can then stick the town tile right where I have it there, and you'll still get 4 hexes without needing the bridge.
Yeah, the fact that you were able to land on ship scoring and then not get bridge blocked seemed like the clincher.
Yeah, the ship scoring I think was the real clincher. If Hefaistos passes and takes that, then it's much tighter. Because I think I could have outstalled engineers and gotten on dwelling scoring, so I at least would have had a scoring tile of some sort. But if he's on ship scoring, yeah, I think it's much tighter.
Which is an interesting like alternate reality to think about. I mean, we thought you were in the lead from fairly early on, but then at some point we were like, it's a little closer than we thought. We still thought you were in the best position. So it's possible that blocking you from ship scoring could have, I don't know, it's hard to tell
Yeah.
exactly how that affects
Yeah,
things.
it's definitely hard to tell. I mean, I might have gone for if I'm dwelling scoring, do I build more dwellings instead of shipping, and then maybe my network's a little higher in exchange? I don't know.
Yeah.
I was feeling pretty good in this one, pretty much throughout. Like especially when I got to round 2 or round 3, and Hefaistos was still in single digits, I was like, oh man, that's just such a big gap. That I was feeling pretty good, and Auren and engineers were predictably just at each other's throats. You kind of can't avoid it on this map. So I was a little worried once I got chased down on Water Cult. I thought I could have gone in round 2. It was fire rewards, and I could have gone first priest of fire to get that, but instead I went straight for the water because it had a little more power, and then there were 2 upcoming rewards. But honestly, the main reason I did it is I thought that doing so would give me the clear lead and I would be able to win Water Cult pretty easily. And then the cults in this game were crazy. I think 3 different cults got like 2 or 3 priests on them all right in a row. But luckily that didn't end up biting me.
Yeah. And I think that ended up that like you sort of staying out of that. It's like one of the like big great principles of board game strategy in general, which is like if there's a lot of competition on one dimension, doing the other stuff is probably more scoring efficient.
I mean, one thing that was really comforting this game was, it's funny because he actually chased me down and tied me for second in the end, but I basically felt like I had a free second place on network this whole game without having to fight for it much at all. And it was one of the reasons I really liked Mermaids, in addition to the fact that the track I thought was pretty good for them, ship scoring, etc. But the fact that I was like, oh, I'll get free 12 points without doing like very much work, that seemed pretty nice, especially when there weren't dwelling scorings late in the game. Like that was one of the reasons I had no concerns with not taking Earth 1 this game. I was just like, I'm just going to hit these dwelling rounds early hard, and then that'll be the vast majority of the dwellings I build for the whole game.
Awesome read, and I think that's a really great lesson for newer players is like looking for the cheap second place on network win in auction is a really big deal, right? So credit to you.
And it's there. And the other thing I'll mention about Mermaids that I really liked here, and the reason that I was jumping around in the auction, but the reason that I liked them was normally Mermaids behind engineers in the auction is really bad because you're likely to lose double dig, but there wasn't worker power in this game. And so I realized that Auren were decently likely to take temp ship. And therefore, by taking ship scoring as Mermaids, you were guaranteed to have double dig in round 1 ahead of, because the engineers wouldn't have a power tile to grab, and that's exactly what happened. And then if Auren didn't take temp ship, then they wouldn't be threatening whatever that green hex is in the north, C3.
Yeah.
Right. So like you're getting one way or the other. And so that was one of the things that convinced me that Mermaids were okay and that Auren weren't really going to be much of a problem for them.
Matt, I had one other question. Like, we were talking a bit about an option of taking water 2, like in round 4 with a temple, and we're wondering if you considered that at all. So it would have helped you like maybe lock up water. You didn't have a town yet, so it was kind of awkward. But it also would have given you a second spade. And then the trade-off with you, though, it's expensive. You didn't build that temple in the end, so you probably didn't want that temple. So it's kind of like a weird trade-off. But I'm kind of wondering, if you considered that at all.
I didn't really. I think I was trying to just get TPs out in the TP round, frankly. What I did consider that round was instead of, I think I threw a priest air, and instead I had considered, water was already full, but I'd considered just sending 2 individual priests to water to sort of, as you said, help lock up water and also get that second spade, which in hindsight is what I should have done. because I didn't foresee that me putting a priest to air would then cause 2 other players to also put priest to air and completely eat up all the spots before it got back to me. I went to air because I thought, oh, if I can get 2 priests to air, I can probably lock up second, and there was an air reward coming. But in hindsight, I should have done the 2 individual priest to water. But no, I didn't really consider water 2.
Well, awesome game. It was definitely like kind of a bizarro one. And you'll see on the replay some of the different.
I'm super excited to watch the VOD. I want to hear what you guys were talking about during the auction because my head was exploding.
Yeah.
Of just like how bad are Auren and with Nomads. When I bid them, I think the last bid I put on them was 7, and then Hefaistos came back at 6, and I was actually kind of relieved because just being that low felt scary. But man, and in hindsight, the values were pretty damn close with how things ended up. But yeah, super excited to hear you guys talk about the auction.
Yeah. So, well, hey man, congrats! And again, I guess we should also say thanks again to WebberRage, Hefaistos, and Simone B for playing so late in the Premier League in Europe.
Absolutely, yeah. And we started 30 minutes later most weeks this time because of sort of deranged work schedule. So yeah, thanks to that, and obviously always thanks to you guys for casting and organizing this, and also of course to EJ, the man, for setting all of this up. So.
Yeah, the legend. Yeah, for sure. So awesome. Well, hey, congrats. Look forward to your next big. Are you playing in 2v2, Matt?
I'm not currently planning on it. I was Fatty, who was my partner last time, is going to play with Danny, his brother, which will be super fun instead. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just cast a few of those games instead of playing this time around. So,
okay,
folks should definitely watch.
Yeah. I think you'd like. Yeah. Well, you've played, so you know the deal.
Yeah.
But okay, cool. Well, awesome. Well, thanks so much, and it's always exciting to see what's next in the Terra Mystica world. There's always something coming up, right? So it looks like 2v2 will be the next thing.
Absolutely. Great to chat with you guys too, and we'll see you all next season, I guess.
Hey, big congrats. I'm handing you a gigantic trophy right now.
Sweet. Got it.
Yeah, congrats again, Matt. Well played.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, take care. Take care, everybody.
You too. See you later, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Bye. See you, Barnawal.
See you, Fickles. Oh, my internet was really struggling there. I hope it wasn't too bad.
No, you did great.